My last video was published June 22nd of 2020. So you might be asking, where have you been? Are you okay? It has been 9 months and 16 days since my last upload to YouTube. So what this video is going to be about is just a short chatty update to let you know where we've been, how we've been doing, and really, more importantly, what's to come for 2021. If you are new here, my name is Stephanie, aka Big Dog Mom, and on this channel I share tips, tutorials, and basic life with giant breed dogs. My mission here is to help empower, educate, and inspire one big dog owner at a time. If that's something that interests you, consider subscribing to my channel, and if you like this video, hit that like button as well. Okay, so let's get on to this hopefully brief chatty update. So to answer everyone's question, and I've received a number of questions, you know, hey, how are you? What have you been doing? Are you coming back? Are you okay? And the answer to all of those questions is yes, we are definitely coming back later in this video, so stick with me. I'm gonna go through what you can expect on the Big Dog Mom channel for 2021. We've got some exciting updates, so stick with me. But first I wanted to just give you an idea of basically what we've been up to over the last 9 months and 16 days. So the first thing is we moved from Arizona to Michigan, and that required numerous trips from Arizona to Michigan. In addition, given the state of the real estate market, I don't know if it's the same where you live, but both in Arizona and in Michigan, where we are, real estate prices are very high, and you know, when you just to put an offer on a house, you are one of many that are putting offers on houses, and so it makes finding a home to move into a little difficult. So we actually moved into a rental about 6 months ago and lived in a very tiny rental with 2 giant dogs, 2 kids, 2 adults, and lots of square feet of stuff in boxes. So for the last 6 months, I really wasn't in a position to be able to film anything outside of maybe on my phone. It just felt like I had so many other things that I needed to do and not a great space in order to film great content for you. So I felt like I didn't want the content to be lacking. Perhaps that was a bad decision, I don't know, but nonetheless, so let me back up just a little bit. The beginning of 2020, I started to homeschool my daughter. I have 2 children. Started to homeschool my daughter before everything happened in March, and so I was focused on that for the early part of the year, able to juggle everything with Big Dog Mom and homeschooling my daughter. And so fast forward to March, I call it 2020 apocalypse. I don't know how you feel about it, but it was, you know, the world kind of stopped, and so then my son came home, and so we began to kind of homeschool / you know, online school for his 4th grade year. I had already made the decision before all of the stuff with the shutdown and everything to homeschool him, but I wanted him to finish the school year. So it was just a lot of upheaval in our lives personally. And so nothing really with the dogs. The dogs were pretty good. The biggest change for them over, you know, at the beginning of kind of 2020 was they were raw fed for the first part of the year and had been for years. And so my ability to both financially afford the raw diet for them and to logistically get it from our supplier was a little up in the air. So because of that, I did switch them to kibble in March of last year. And so there have been some ramifications of that, which we'll discuss in a second. But nonetheless, you know, so everything kind of shut down, and I know people have had it way worse than we have. So I'm not saying all of that to, you know, act like, you know, my life is so much more dramatic and worse than anybody else. We are very blessed in many, many ways. So I think it's all positive stuff, but nonetheless, I'm trying to explain why the long time period in me not doing a video on YouTube. So I don't know if I've even mentioned this at all on my channel, but I actually have a background in microbiology. I went to graduate school in microbiology and toxicology and spent 15, 16 years in and around the field of microbiology. And so this last year and a half, or year and some, has been for me personally something that I just kind of have felt like the world is upside down, and that what we have always known about microbiology and virology has kind of gone out the window. And so I think for me, part of last year and still this year has been just trying to stay focused and not dwell on that which I cannot control. And that truly is how I feel about a lot of what's happening. I can control what I do as a mother to my children, as a a dog owner, and as a citizen of this country. So I can control a small sphere of things, but not everything. And so I think last year it was just such a traumatic kind of event that, when combined with trying to protect my children from the crazy that was around them, as well, am I boring you, Sally? As well as, moving, it just was, I felt like I just needed some time off. And I hope that makes sense and that you understand. When everything happened in March, I was leading up to a launch of Dog Nailpro, as many of you guys know. And if you're on the wait list for Dog Nailpro, I'll put a link down in the description if you're interested. But essentially, that's my online course helping dog owners learn how to cut their dog's nails without fear or frustration. And so when everything happened in March, it seemed like a great opportunity. Everybody is home and would have the ability and the time to spend learning, a new skill and to work with their dog. And so while on one hand it sounded like a really great opportunity for me, I was so conflicted at the time and really felt like it would be taking advantage. And I didn't want to ask for money while the value is absolutely 1000% there and worth every cent that you will pay if you're interested. But at the time, the world was just upside down, and I did not feel it was right for me to ask for money at that time when so many people were losing their jobs and their businesses, and still are. And so I've just been a little conflicted about where Dog Nailpro and my course fits into the greater scheme of Big Dog Mom and this channel and all of that. And I have made the decision to launch later this year, and hopefully sooner rather than later, since we're finally moved into our new home. So it will be coming, but why I didn't launch during that time, it just gives you a little taste of why I ultimately made the decision not to, and just to take some time off. Many of you have probably been wondering, and many of you have asked me, how are the dogs doing? So you haven't really seen much of them in the last 9 months or so. So a quick update on both dogs. So this is Sully, and Sully has done quite well. He had, as I mentioned before, get the leaves out of your mouth, Sully. We had to switch both dogs last March to kibble, and I think as a result of that, he's always had like perfect teeth the whole time, his whole life. And in the last year, he ended up needing a tooth extraction at the end of December. So we had that surgery done in January. So that's probably the biggest event. They also said that he's got kind of mild entropion in both eyes, in both of his eyes. And so given his age, we have elected at this point to not do surgery. It not necessarily even for financial reasons, but just that I'm able to maintain the cleanliness of his eyes. It's not real bad. So we've just decided to not do the surgery for that. We obviously extracted the tooth. We could have tacked on the eyes at the same time, but I just didn't really want to put him through it, and it didn't seem like he needed it. It wasn't so severe. So I don't know if you have experience with entropion or not, but nonetheless, his eyes at times get kind of goopy, so I have some drops that I use and just try to keep him clean, and he looks pretty good to me. So, and then Junior, he struggles with, well, as you know, pain because of wobbler syndrome. So we've had to manage his pain just like always, but I haven't had any trouble getting his prescriptions, which is great. And then, he suffers with like allergies and all kinds of skin issues, and he never really had problems when he was on raw. The kibble just doesn't sit well with him. And so we've had to really struggle with, I have to give him baths almost every 4 days, 3 days. I kind of have to clean his back. Otherwise he gets like these hot spots and dry skin and peeling, you know, the hair is kind of coming out and it's itchy and hivey. So it's an allergic kind of reaction that he just doesn't really have when he's eating raw. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to switching them both back to raw. It seems like they just did so much better on it before. So be looking for more videos. Obviously that's central to our life with these big dogs. And so hopefully if that's something that interests you, let me know in the comments below. But that's kind of the update on both dogs. They've really done quite well considering. I'll intersperse just a few clips of life in the rental with these two. It was a tiny rental with very little square footage, and being surrounded by boxes, the dogs really didn't have a great place to play, and they couldn't really go outside without a leash. And so they like to be like walruses, like tackling each other and stuff, and they really didn't have a lot of space to do that in the rental. But there were a few moments that I was able to capture where they went crazy. It was pretty funny. So, but considering everything, they have done extraordinarily well. And then traveling. So the video will come out after this one, but it will be all about traveling with a larger giant breed dog. And so, you know, how to do that efficiently, planning and preparation and everything that went into moving with these two, which was a feat in and of itself. And so I'll share more about that in that video. But suffice it to say, the dogs have done very well considering the upheaval in their lives, which I'm quite thankful for. And they are very happy to be here in Michigan with the cooler weather and the snow. They had a blast this winter in the snow. I'll put some clips of that in there too. But yeah, just in case you were interested in an update on the dogs, there's that. So now what can you expect for 2021 on the Big Dog Mom channel? So again, if you're new here and you haven't done so already, I would ask you to consider subscribing to this channel because we've got some exciting stuff going on in the year 2021. I've got regular content that will be coming. Now, regular, on my banner, you can see it says weekly videos. That is my goal. That is my goal. I have a new studio that is hopefully going to be built. We've got a room. We basically just need to finish it. Shouldn't take much to finish it, but that will be my filming studio. And until that is done, I'll be filming hopefully outside, a little bit in the house, and do what I can. But my goal is weekly videos that will correspond often to the Big Dog Mom blog, bigdogmom.com. So I've got a whole list of video ideas, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything that you would like to see, questions that you have about life with big dogs, owning a big dog, etc. But I've got a whole list of options. I've been asked numerous times to do a video on teaching loose leash walking. Since we're in a new home now, we finally got into our home, we're out of the rental. I've got a new part 2 for front door manners because my dogs do not have front door manners at our new home because it's a whole new space, and so they've got to learn where their place is. So that'll be one that I need to work on ASAP. And then we're gonna have a whole series of dog nail videos, which I have talked about for a length of time. And then I'm gonna do a series on just what it's like to own a giant breed dog. So everything from feeding, raising a puppy, all sorts of stuff, you know, that would be encompassed in, you know, what does it take to own a larger giant breed dog? So that'll be another series. And there's a whole bunch more, but I'm interested in your take. So definitely comment below with any ideas that you have and videos that you'd like to see on this channel. And then and then I mentioned Nailpro will be launching hopefully in a couple of months. And when all of that is done filming, I still have a few videos that I need to put on the member space. And so those will be done soon. And then the last 2 components of this channel that I didn't do in 2020 or before, and that is live video Q&A and then some day in the life. I tend to watch some of those for some of the people that I watch on YouTube, and I really like them. I don't know why. It's kind of an odd thing, but I don't feel like my life is very interesting. But if you are interested in what kind of the day in the life of Big Dog Mom looks like, let me know in the comments below. And if you would be interested in attending a live Q&A, I mean, I was thinking we could do Q&A topics. So if we wanted to do one about dog nails, I mean, that would be probably a perfect one. But anything, you know, raising a puppy, any question, if you know, we have a bunch of people in the, our community that have puppies, we could do a puppy Q&A and that sort of thing. So if you're interested in that, if you wouldn't mind, leave me a comment below and let me know if that's something that would interest you. I don't want to spend a lot of time filming and doing live videos if that's just not something that you want to see. So that's basically it. I know this felt like kind of a rambling video. I hope that you found it interesting to just get a little taste of what 2020 and early 2021 looked like for our family. And I appreciate you sticking with me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Bye for now. Why? No. Rambling. Are you still filming? Okay. Can you see the dogs? They have walked away. Okay. Was that okay?
Yeah.
Hit that like button.
You should like down and you would do like the like button.
I think they know where the like button is.